I'm doing more videos this week just to kind of update you. I guess I'm doing videos a little bit too often now, just to kind of update you on what's been going on in my life. So I mentioned that one of the reasons why I haven't been around was because I got really, really sick. And I'll just give you guys the full story about everything. I just competed in, it was actually the first amateur classic physique division show. Um, and that was the Legends Classic in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I competed in the 5'8" to 5'9" class. And I had to cut down to 100 and I forgot what the weight was. I think I had to cut down to 185 pounds, um, which was hard. And I got myself down to a really, really low body fat percentage. I was so lean at that point that I wore the fat pads out underneath my feet, and I was actually getting pain while I was walking around. And so I made weight. Um, and during that time, about 2 weeks before that, my ulcerative colitis had started to flare up. When you have an autoimmune disease or any other problem, it's going to get a lot more amplified when you're a low body fat percentage because all the inflammation just it can't, you know, it doesn't have your body doesn't have any fat to protect it, so all the inflammation just goes everywhere. So my joints were aching, my ulcerative colitis was flaring up, and I was half out of it most of the time. That being said, I'd come off of my ketogenic diet because I had to lower my fat intake. So I wasn't getting enough fat intake to really fuel my brain. I was forgetting things. And I basically was on an extremely low calorie diet, decided to make this weight class. I made the weight class, cut water, started carbing up. And so what happened when I started carbing up, I had to eat a lot because I made weight the night before. I had to carb up in time to get on stage for the show. The show went well. I took second in one of the larger classes, which was pretty cool. Uh, Here's the issue. Started getting a lot of acid reflux because I really wasn't used to eating that amount of calories at one time. And so I started hiccuping. I started hiccuping uncontrollably. And after hiccuping for almost 6 hours straight, I started vomiting and then had to get an IV run on me. Um, the next day, I couldn't swallow anything. And then for the next few days, I really couldn't swallow anything. So all I was able to take in was juice. And I tried to eat a few days after that, but what happened was um, I'd actually gotten pneumonia. And so my lungs were starting to fill with fluid and everything like that. And it was not a very good experience. My girlfriend's a nurse, and it's not like her to say go to the hospital. She tried to get me to go to the hospital. I didn't because I'm dumb. But I started just continuing with the juice cleanse, and after about 10 days on the juice cleanse, what I did was um, I tried to eat a normal meal, and I couldn't digest meat. Anytime I tried to eat meat, my stomach acid would start to come up. And so I said to myself, well, I can't just keep drinking juice all the time. And I guess meat's out of the equation, so I guess I have to go vegan. And so out of necessity, I switched to a vegan diet, and I've remained vegan from that point up to now. Um, the diet I'm following right now is not ketogenic. It's been really great. It actually shut down the flare. I'm still not able to eat meat. I've tried, but my body just can't digest it right now. And that's where I'm at. The diet I'm on right now, so I'll wake up in the morning, I'll have 3 cups of green vegetables, I'll have some hemp seeds, and then I'll have some avocado. And then a couple hours later, I'll have some quinoa with some almond milk and some hemp seeds. Then a couple hours after that, I'll usually have like another vegetable-based meal with a little bit more quinoa. I put hemp seeds into everything. I've been eating fruit just to get some extra calories. I eat a lot of dates. I eat a lot of bananas. I eat a lot of plums, peaches, watermelon, things like that, just to supplement calories throughout the day. And dinner is usually some rice or some quinoa pasta or brown rice pasta. I can't eat flour still. I'm completely gluten free, and it's been all right. I don't like it as much as ketosis. My brain doesn't really function with the endurance it once did, but I have to say, I do feel pretty good, and I do feel kind of good about myself that I'm not killing any animals or anything like that. Now, that being said, I'm not going to become one of these people who says veganism is the only way. I try to approach everything without any sort of ideology at all. People might criticize me for that. I don't really care, because I honestly don't give a fuck what kind of criticism I get on this channel, because it's not my profession anymore. But it's been cool. One thing I'm trying to figure out is how to be ketogenic on a vegan diet. And so I'm planning on doing some experimentation with MCT oil and coconut oil. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to keep my calories high enough without the fruit intake. And so maybe I'll do some experiments with that. I've worked with clients on a keto-based vegan program before, and they got some outstanding results, and I have a format for it in my new ebook on ketosis. I just haven't tried it out myself, and I need to. So maybe that's a lapse in my logic and some resistance on my part. But I plan on doing that probably closer to the summertime, because I am going to be training for my next Spartan race, which I'm going to do in September. I don't know that I'm going to do a Spartan Beast this year, because the last Beast was pretty gnarly and almost set me into an ulcerative colitis flare-up itself, but I am at least going to do a sprint or a super. As far as other things, man, I'm just concentrating on business, focusing on Warrior Soul Apparel, which if you guys haven't checked out that site, it's warriorsoulfitness.com. I'll put the link in the description box below. As I said last video, I started a podcast called Chris Albert's Warrior Soul, and I'll put the link in the description box below. The company and the podcast are really focused on helping people live their best lives. It's not really anything to do with fitness, but particularly I'm interested in helping veterans. The clothing line is focused on veterans, and most of it right now is centered on Marine Corps veterans, but we're looking to include some apparel for U.S. Army. Our lifestyle line is actually awesome for civilians, because we had a lot of civilians requesting our gear. So the lifestyle line has like inspirational quotes on it and things like that. And so if you guys want to check that out, please do. And then other than that, just to deal with a couple of questions I got. Somebody said, just one question really that was of substance. Somebody said they were having problems turning their neck. I've had this issue before, and it usually happens because of deadlifts or squats or doing something in the wrong way. And so what you got to do, there's this muscle down here called the levator, and it's underneath your trap, and I actually had to have somebody work on it really hard. But you can get this thing. It's called a Theracane, right? And it's green. And basically, what you do is you hold it here like this, and you massage. Um, just put some pressure on there, or get your girlfriend to stick her elbow up in there and shit like that. You know. So that helps out a bit. I've had people asking me about fat sources. What are the best fat sources for immediate energy prior to a workout? In my opinion, that's MCT oil, but particularly the powder is very good. So if you can get MCT oil pills, that'd be awesome. Or you can get it from coconut oil. If you wanted to add some coconut oil to like a cup of coffee before your workout, that's a great way of getting some endurance energy. For myself, when I start to try to get back into ketosis, it's probably going to be a lot of MCT oil at the beginning and then switching over to coconut oil, because I don't like continually taking MCT oil all the time, because the ketone levels can get a little bit too high. But if you want to understand anything about ketosis, I just wrote a book, which I put on chrisalbertfitness.com for $5.99, because I wanted to make it cheap, and there's no pictures or anything colorful in there or anything like that. But I don't know. Is there anything else I need to do? I think that's it. Yeah. All right, guys. Peace.